I can't believe how perfect this ending is. There were no red flags whatsoever. Not one. Hi, welcome back. Today I have a story to share with you about a girl who found more than just a cat. Let's jump right into the story. Our protagonist was tired of people, tired of their games, their expectations, their way of always trying to change her. So she adopted a cat, a small, silent creature with sad green eyes. For a moment, she saw herself in them, a soul who seemed lost and didn't trust anyone. She named him Leo. He never purred, never played with any toys, never rubbed against her legs asking for pets. Just sat by the window, daydreaming and watching the world go by. And somehow that made her feel seen. Both of them quietly healing in the same little apartment, each in their own way, finding solace in the other's presence without saying a word. But neither of them are happy. Not yet. They weren't ready to open up, not until the walls around their hearts crumbled and they learned to trust again. And even then, it was a slow burn, but it was a start. For the next 6 months, they kept each other company in their little haven, until one day she felt a new presence, a new energy. She couldn't quite put her finger on it, but something had shifted. It was like the arrival of a new character in a familiar story, adding an unexpected twist to their quiet routine. It happened in the most ordinary of ways. He lived in 3B. She never really paid attention to him before, but Leo did. Every time he walked by, Leo would paw at the door and meow, letting her know he was there. Something he never did for anyone else. When she opened the door to greet the stranger, she found Leo gone. The man smiled kindly. His name was Ethan. He loved cats. After that first encounter, their paths crossed more often. First in the hallway, then in the courtyard, and finally over cups of coffee in a cozy corner shop. Their conversations were filled with laughter, shared interests, and the comfortable silence that spoke volumes. They talked about everything and nothing, and with each conversation, the walls around her heart crumbled a little more. Slowly, day by day, week by week, she found herself looking forward to these chance encounters. They became a part of her routine, a warm and comforting constant in her life. And as the days turned into weeks, she realized that she enjoyed his company more than anyone else's. She trusted him in a way she never thought possible. And it wasn't just because of Leo. It was because of the bond they had formed over their shared love for books, their quiet companionship, and the unspoken understanding that passed between them. Then one rainy afternoon, he didn't show up. The rain was falling harder than usual, drumming a melancholic rhythm on the window pane. She looked up from her book, her heart skipping a beat. It wasn't like him to miss their coffee catch-up, especially not on such a dreary day. As the minutes turned into hours, her worry grew. Had something happened to him? Was he all right? Her thoughts raced, each one more frantic than the last. Hours later, as the rain continued its relentless drumming on the glass, she found herself sitting by the window again, a sense of unease settling in her stomach. Leo was curled up on the windowsill beside her, his green eyes gazing out into the rain-soaked world. And in that moment, she understood. She stood up, surprised by her own sudden movement. Taking a deep breath, she walked toward the door, her hand hovering over the knob. Where was it? What if something had happened? Doubts and worries swirled within her, but they couldn't hold her back any longer. As she stepped out into the rain-drenched hallway, she hesitated for a moment, the cold seeping through her coat. But she shook off the chill and headed toward 3B, her steps echoing in the quiet hallway. When he opened the door, his face was etched with surprise, quickly replaced by a wave of relief. Her heart skipped a beat as she met his gaze. In that instant, words seemed unnecessary. They stood there, caught in the quiet embrace of the moment. The rain continued its steady rhythm outside, creating a soothing backdrop to their reunion. Without another word, she stepped inside, closing the door behind her. Inside, the apartment was warm and inviting, the scent of freshly brewed tea mingling with the earthy aroma of old books. As they embraced, the weight of the past month seemed to lift. His touch sent a jolt of electricity through her, and she held on tight, burying her face in his chest, breathing in his familiar scent. In that moment, she knew she had found something rare and precious, a love that had found its way to her, despite all the odds. As the evening deepened, they talked, laughed, and reminisced about the journey that brought them together. The rain continued its gentle symphony outside, harmonizing with the melody of their reunited hearts. Later, as they sat on the couch with Leo nestled between them, she realized that she wasn't alone. She had found someone who understood her in a way that surprised her. Someone who had walked a similar path. Someone who had loved and lost and found love again. Ethan's love story began when he was young. His parents were the epitome of a loving and lasting relationship. He witnessed their devotion firsthand, which instilled in him the belief that true love exists. However, when he entered his teenage years, his parents suddenly and unexpectedly passed away in a car accident, leaving him all alone. The sudden loss of his parents shattered his belief in happily ever afters. Devastated and feeling lost, he threw himself into his studies, seeking solace in the predictability of numbers and formulas. As he pursued a career in engineering, he buried himself in his work, determined to succeed in the face of adversity. Years went by and he found success in his career, becoming a respected engineer. But there was a void in his life that no amount of professional achievement could fill. Despite his outward success, he harbored a deep-seated fear of vulnerability. Terrified of opening himself up to the possibility of love and the potential for further heartbreak. Instead, he channeled his emotions into his work and immersed himself in the pursuit of perfection. But deep down, a part of him yearned for connection, for someone to share his life with, and most of all, for someone to love. All that changed when he met her, when their eyes met across the crowded room. Something sparked within him. A flicker of recognition, a sense of connection, he couldn't explain. Despite his fear of commitment, he found himself drawn to her warmth and kindness. As they began dating, he slowly opened up to her, sharing his fears and insecurities, revealing the scars that had been hidden beneath his stoic exterior. With each passing day, he fell deeper in love with her, realizing that she was not only his soulmate, but also his best friend. Together, they faced life's challenges, supporting each other through thick and thin. And as the years went by, their love only grew stronger. Now, sitting on the couch with Leo between them, she knew she had found something truly special. The pieces of their love story had fallen into place, creating a picture of perfect harmony. There were no red flags, no doubts, no uncertainty. Just the warmth of their love enveloping them like a soft blanket on a chilly evening. As the evening deepened, they talked about everything and nothing. Their conversation flowing easily like water from a never-ending source. The silence between them was comfortable, punctuated only by the occasional meow from Leo, who had finally found his forever home. Looking at Ethan, she saw not just a handsome man with kind eyes and a disarming smile, but a soulmate, someone who understood her like no one else. Their love story was far from over. It was just beginning. And as she snuggled closer to Ethan, she knew that their happily ever after had been worth waiting for.